This is one, it's a continual, it feels like a continual shot. And I thought, it can't be one shot. But it is amazing how you did make it look like one.
Oh, good, thank you.
That must have been quite a feat.
It was hard, and needed a lot of preparation. And there were days when I thought it was really a stupid idea, because of course there were so many times when we had wonderful things on camera that we then couldn't use because in the course of this 5 or 6 minute or 7 minute take, one error happens and then you just have to go back to the beginning. But when you get it, when you get the shot and everything works, it's so exhilarating and it's so exciting, and you feel so delighted that you want to do it again.
Yeah, it felt like you were there running beside the guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like running wherever the camera was, is that where you wanted the audience to be? Different than other films.
Yeah, I mean, yes. I mean, you don't want to be repetitive. It's the difficult thing with one shot is to not get stuck in the same relationship with the characters, particularly because you're following the same characters. It's a constant dance between showing the audience where they're going, where they've been, understanding geography, time passing. You want it to be intimate when it needs to be intimate, but you also want to breathe out at times and see how big the landscape is and how vast the kind of panorama of destruction that they're crossing, this immense landscape. So it's trying to, it's a constant moving dance between camera and character and landscape, all of which are moving all the time.
Yeah. And I mean, the audience may not know this, but stories from your grandfather is what kind of inspired you for this. Yeah. Was this something in the back of your mind for a long time as a filmmaker?
As a filmmaker, strangely, no. It was obviously in the back of my mind as a family member, but it always felt to me that it was his story, not mine, if you know what I mean. Yeah. And it was only after the last Bond movie, Spectre, that I thought I wanted to write something myself. I felt that I was ready to do it, and this was the story, this one image actually of my grandfather carrying a message across no man's land, which became the basis for this film. And then of course we extended it, developed it from there.
Well, you want it to be a movie too, so it's a lot of it's fiction and part of the story of your grandfather. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's a fiction based on a fact.
Yeah.
I mean, these are fictional characters, not about my grandfather. Yeah. It's because of my grandfather that I made it. But it's about two characters that are totally created for the film.
I'm not seeing your timing. Are we out? One question left? Anyway. Yeah, because a lot of people were asking about that. And I don't know, when they watch a film, they always say, is that a real story? But there's so much action in this, too. But that actually does happen in wars. So you get to put that kind of entertainment, even though it's tragic, to watch into the film as well, to make it...
I'm glad to see you trying to describe a film that's so difficult to describe.
It is, because it's a tragic situation.
Yeah, of course. You don't want to, but at the same time, you want people to experience it and not to analyze it too much. It's not a history lesson. Nobody wants to come to the movies to be told, a lesson or to be taught. You want to live through it, and hopefully it gives you some insight into the scale of the war and the sheer difficulty of being, the human experience of it. But it's also designed to be seen on a big screen. You don't need to know anything about the war to understand it, and we've used every contemporary tool available at our disposal in terms of image and sound and music. To make it feel like it happened yesterday.
Yeah. Well, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.